Okay, abusuya be makwa aba sonko so edeba POG Media so yeremeko political highway ni so highway ni de ensem mebi oso ayen so ya jepene se be me abidwafo no ahu de eko ene de eba abusuya yembo nwura yensem mu aye nyaho N.Tamakloe ede ensem bi aba betudwa abusuya Akuffo Addo ne government there why omo pansa ma say ono no yo bia na oben Akuffo Addo ye na ne nsem odi tudwa no aye elections on nsem no odi tudwa na ne nsem a o kan say aye say NPP abanyoko no omo accept omo defeat na say omo apologize to Ghanaians na omo njai court na say omo ne nam na back and forth no omo ankasa no omo party no or say NPP party no ehia reset enti no say omo beti ni kasa omo njai sa ye court ye kosi na omo pa Ghana for acho omo mpa Ghana for acho say omo ankasa no omo aye bone eni omo ho abusia ensema o kan ne bebre mum yanko na yanko nkoti ensema course na asa na ebeko no o ensem kan bi afa share your comment section like share ma afufron so ensa into me enkabi madam ase
who have been taken off.
Yes.
So you have to look for another new set of people. This is how Freddie Blake got into our party. He has never been a democratic figure. And I wasn't surprised that under his leadership, our party got destroyed. Freddie Blake, I'm saying he can challenge me anyway. Because if I talk about it to be in volumes, I don't have time for that. Now, so when I attack Akuffo Addo, and we are in politics. I'm a physician by profession, but I have interest in politics as well. So I read about a lot about politics. And I knew that having suspended Paul Afoko and his group, they'll come on me, which they did. And then they wrote a letter that not the national executive. I learned the case was taken there, they couldn't take a decision. So one of the chaps who was then a regional minister said he can write the letter on behalf of the region. My party card, which I have, which I can show to you. At that time, I was staying at cantonment, so I was under La area. So they wrote a letter to me that I have been suspended indefinitely. I didn't mind that. Nobody can sack me from that party. If they are not careful, I will organize for them to be sacked from the party.
Has that suspension been lifted now?
No.
Right.
No, it has not been lifted. Now, you asked a question about Kwabena Japan.
Yes.
Kwabena Japan shocked most people by trying to work his way back into the hands of Akuffo Addo. And I cautioned him. The documents, I even spoke with him. Kwabena, it is a wrong move. What came into his mind before he did that, I don't understand. But he thought he would be accepted by them. He helped them to campaign for Akuffo Addo's second round. Then after the elections, they dropped him like a hot cake.
And he went back again because in 2024, he was in the campaign.
That's exactly what I'm saying, that the first round, he was not really with them. But after the second round of Akuffo Addo, he started with
Which is the 2020 election.
Exactly. And maybe he was expecting some sort of, I doubt. Well, I don't think Kwabena has a problem, a financial problem or anything. I don't know what.
I mean, he's told me because I interviewed him earlier last year. He's told me that it's because of his love for the party.
Oh, no. Kwabena cannot love NPP more than me. I was in the party. It's not my age group. What we went through before the party was formed, he had no idea. Yes, there were younger people who were following this. His love for the party, more than the founders like J.B. Darocha, than Ajeni Mbuati, than Odroi Sais, than Peter Lajete. What's he talking about? There were giants in the party. We didn't get close to those people. When it came to positioning, there were giants in the party, giants with integrity. J.H. Mensah. I mean, these are figures. When you see them, you have confidence in them. And that is why at that time, the whole intellectual group, in all the investors, were backing the NPP. Now they have all given their support to the NDC. And it is a fact.
I see.
Yes. Because the NPP now lacks leadership. It lacks leadership. And there's one thing I would like to caution them. I'm still a member. I've got my card.
Well, but you've been suspended indefinitely.
Oh, you can't sack a founding member of a party. They sacked me for what reason? For speaking my mind. Then what follows? The basic principle of the party's own philosophy is being undermined. I didn't attack anybody. Do you follow me? Yeah, I spoke my mind. Now, the state in which we are now, you asked me a question or something earlier. Well, I want to reply immediately before it gets out of my head. Party reorganization. The state in which we are now, and how the party looks like now. When the party had, not quite long ago, a Congress, and elected Ntim as chairman, Ntim comes to me in this house. I know all of them, with the exception of some of the young ones. Then you have the General Secretary, whose name is...
Justin Kodua.
Justin Kodua. I have never met him before. I knew the father. If that was the father, he used to contest always for the leadership of the party. He came from Kumasi Island. He was also a lawyer. The rest, I don't know any of them. If they want NPP to come back in its traditional form, as it was formed by B.J. Darocha and others, then the first thing they have to do is to call for an emergency meeting or emergency congress. Completely sweep out the present leadership. Get an IMC in position to organize the party for the party to come. Therefore, if they did make the mistake of using this old executive, we shall end up having UNC what a PFP. Mark my words.
But they have formed a committee to investigate the loss.
I heard about that and I laughed.
Why so?
Oh, I know Michael Kwe very well. You see, the Gans have a saying, Saka, you know what is Saka? You won't know where. Saka used to be between Adabraka and Tudu. Have horses, dead horses, which cannot contest at the race course anymore. They put them there. They just pull weights of goods. A guy will tell you, Saka Upongo ye race. That's a Saka horse can never win a race.
Is that your reference to Professor Michael Kwe?
You see, I speak my mind. I know Mike very well. He knows I can say what I'm saying. But he can never stop me. Mike has not got the energy and that, how shall I put it, even the conviction to tell somebody in the face that you are wrong, you are wrong, you are wrong. We've done it before. When we lost the elections some time ago, the committee was headed by Yao Safo Manfo.
Right.
Where the reports published, nothing came out. When the NDC, led by Kwesi Botwe, whom I know very well, had a similar report done, it was published.
We saw the Kwesi Botwe reports.
Yes. Now, why they chose Okwe will also tell you that they want somebody who can easily be influenced and maneuvered. You follow me? We have people there.
But to what benefit?
Listen to me. We have people there who can lead the party. Adainemo is around. You follow me? I'm not saying he should be elected as the leader of the party. He could be a leader amongst the new set of group that will be put in place to organize or reorganize the party. We have Ayiko too. We even have Crab there. I would have gone in for any of these people, but not Mahama. Mahama cannot handle these people. But he's going to deal with people who will definitely like to maneuver, because all of them came into office because of money.
Because of money?
I'm telling you. And they got into their various positions by buying votes with physical cash. We saw it in this country. It was on television. Right down from the chairman to the least person. So they bought their positions to be at where they are. So they are not the genuine wishes of the people. When I made mention after the election, picking of the flag bearer, I told you, journalists, that Bawumia is not the choice of the people. People thought I was joking. It has shown. How can Bawumia, with all the money behind him, and Akuffo Addo's weight, perform so abysmally in the last elections that we had? He lost in his own constituency. He lost in all the barracks, the armed forces barracks.
Right.
He lost in the Muslim community. He lost also in the Christian community. So that tells you clearly. And under him, we suffered the greatest defeat we've ever experienced in the Ashanti region.
So in 3 months' time, we shouldn't expect this Professor Tamakloe-led committee to come up with anything substantial or anything beneficial for the NPP.
All I would say is that wait and see. You see? I'm right. They can never form a party that will be NPP that we knew around the present leadership. It's impossible. They either form a new party, or the party will be divided into two. We are once going to have the Achem section against the Ashanti section.
Should the party consider also, I mean, you talked about calling an emergency Congress to clear out the current leadership?
It can be done. The Constitution allows that.
Should the party also consider bringing in some of the names that you have mentioned, for instance?
People like Ayiko too.
And
people
yourself.
like Nemo. I am, you see, I'll tell you a story. There was an Indian politician who was, he was a schemer, an expert in politics. He belonged to a political party in India in those days, years back. He was asked a question, why didn't he want to come to the forefront and lead the party? At times in politics, somebody should be behind and direct affairs. I prefer that work than be at the forefront. So what do I need?
Who are the kinds of people you expect the party to reach out to now?
No.
And bring them back?
The party should reach out first and foremost. They should come out with an apology to all those that have been dismissed from the party. And then apologize also to the general supporters of our party. That's the first thing they should do. Accept defeat and then apologize. Because our supporters really have been harmed. I know them. They have been harmed. Some of them, they do come to me here. You follow me? Only they are afraid to talk. Some top leaders who are even in Akuffo Addo's government. You follow me? Now, if they fail to clean the stables and they think they can work with this present leadership, like the meeting they have just called and made Tamakloe the leader, I can assure you 100% it will never work. Mark my words.
It won't work. Right. When we come back, I want us to look at the, I know you said the president isn't leaving behind any achieved.
Okay.
When we come back. Don't go away. The young people, particularly the 15-year-olds you mentioned, who died during the Kume Preko, the promises that you had made to, your supporters at the time, Akuffo had 2001 to 2008. During that period, 2001-2005, you were ambassador to Serbia and Montenegro. Akuffo himself was Attorney General. Would that be correct?
He was an Attorney General.
And even Foreign Affairs Minister too.
Initially,
yes.
and then moved to Foreign
Affairs. Indeed.
And he visited me at my area of jurisdiction.
So then, you, Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, even President Kufuor at the time, you were in office, you had power. Why is it that the three of you didn't do something then, within that period?
It's a good question. No. When you put a person in power in this country, sometimes his behavior changes completely. Now, I wasn't, for the first 4 years, yes. Listen to me carefully, of Kufuor's reign, I was nowhere at all sent. For the simple reason that when we're going to have a Congress in Sunyani to elect a party leader, I supported Akufo-Addo. Listen to me carefully, against Kufuor. And Kufuor had been my close pal.
Right.
It was in my house at cantonments that 6 of us met and said Kufuor was the right person. After Edubo and defeat by Jerry John Rawlings, the 6 of us, an elderly man by the name Stephen Kreku, who was then the Western Regional Chairman of NPP. He has passed on no long ago. He used to be a deputy minister in Professor Buzua's government. Gentleman's gentleman. The next, KG Osebos, well-respected man with integrity. Third, Dr. Jani Selby. These were all my seniors. Jani Selby, well-respected gentleman. Fourth, Kandapaha, who is now the Minister of National Security.
Yes.
Fifth, Osei Ajayi, who took over from Akufo-Addo as the Minister of Foreign Affairs when Akufo-Addo had to step down in order to contest for the leadership of the party. And myself, N.Tamakloe. We met in my house when we decided that Akuffo should be the next. And he did. You follow me? The reason why I left Kufuor myself and a small group, I can give you the number again, was that we were initially supporting Kwame Pianim. I knew what Kwame Pianim can do. I served with him in Nsawan prisons. When I got to Nsawan prison, Kwame Pianim had served about 10 years.
You don't say.
You see, when you people, that's why I always blame historians in this country. These are contemporary politics, which should be written for the young ones to know. Kwame Pianim didn't commit a crime. What the Constitution said was what he was doing. There was a constitutionally elected government in power, and Jerry John Rawlings came in and removed them. So anyone who unseats that government or that junta, nothing should be done to him. Kwame was nearly killed. He served 10 years. By the time I left him in Saon, he has already served 10 years. When I got in there, I served 10 years. You follow me? And I know what Kwame can do. So when finally Kwame was released, in fact, from Instagram, they moved him to, what do you call it? Sopon. Was it Sopon? No, not Sopon. But it's on the line there.
Right.
One of the prisons there. That was where he ended. And finally, he was released. You see? So we have people in the party with integrity, people who will not go in for money. They are there. But I don't know what happened. Under the administration of Nana Addo, which shocked me more than anything, but I knew Nana Addo to be someone who was straightforward when we were young. What happened that he has changed completely to the extent that when his minister have even been found to be culprit of a certain thing, he will come out to defend the minister? I don't understand it.
That's different from Nana Addo, you know.
Totally different.
But you had also said earlier that when people are in power, they change.
Oh, absolutely, and that is what. In his case, myself and one of the young people I mentioned when we were kids, when he was made leader of the party, the person questioned. He said, "Now, do you think Addo can handle this party?" At that time, I said, "Well, we are all growing, and with age, you change." That is what I thought. And surprisingly, what he is doing now, he never showed that women were kids. His major problem, I would say, he always spoke about his height. That he did.
He was insecure about his height.
Absolutely. That's why I say Akuffo is not an arrogant person. No.
Right.
You follow me? Mm-hmm. And when he did that, and I got convinced that he's been disturbed by his height and having what we call Napoleonic syndrome, that is what I would tell in medicine, was when he wanted to show his face for the first time as a leader of the party. I was with him. We had a meeting at the Presbyterian Church Hall.
Okay.
I was on a podium with him and his uncle, John Soforiata, the father of the what do you call it, former finance minister. I sat next to Jones. Then in his address, he made mention of the tree word, motia, in his speech. So I didn't understand the word. So I asked Jones what the meaning was. Jones said motia means a dwarf. Then I kept quiet. And apparently what he wanted to tell the public at that time was that people see him as a smallish man, but when he is in control, you see him like a giant.
Oh.
So I have never, and I will never say Akuffo is arrogant.
Okay.
He has what we call Napoleonic syndrome.
I see.
That is the problem he should solve. We even saw it on television yesterday. He showed it on television yesterday. Have you read about Napoleon Bonaparte before? He was once a French emperor. Shortish man, and you have to see how he displayed.
I see. And you think the president is suffering from that as well?
There's Napoleonic syndrome.
What do you make of people who question the president's professional and education credentials?
Professional and education. Look, he left us very early. Interestingly, from primary school, we were not together on primary school. He was in a government school. We call it government primary school. It was right opposite Sadi School, this same Sadi School. The school is still there to today. And I was in Addo Presbyterian Primary School. That's where we started. I am older than him by a year and a half or 2 years. Then from there he graduated to Kembu. Kembu you might know. It's in Accra now also.
Right.
That's the middle school. And I graduated to Osu Presbyterian Middle Boys School, known as Salem. Then we separated at that stage. So Akuffo left early for Britain. The reasons I'll keep to myself. He left early.
Oh, why so?
No,
what happened?
I have
Why
a
did
lot
he
of
leave?
reasons. I'll say I have a lot of reasons. It might come out one day. Now, he left early, so he had his secondary education in Europe. And also, whether he was in university there or not, that I can't tell. And eventually, when we started coming back in droves, our age group, the same age group, people started coming. We left it some early 60s, mid 60s. After secondary school, you go out either through government scholarship or through your parents, you go out. Now, when he came back, he was sworn in as a lawyer in the chambers or in the office of the Chief Justice.
Okay.
You follow me? That's all that I can know about his background. And since I have been sworn in as a lawyer, to me he's a lawyer.
Indeed.
Those who can challenge what his educational background is concerning the law, they are there. They have a body there to see to that.
I see.
So we went through that phase. Then the political turmoil started coming. And we have been meeting, and finally we got together. When some of us ended up in prisons and whatnot, and finally we got together.
Again?
again.
After a long time in
After this
Britain.
long period.
Was he running away from something when he left Ghana for Britain?
Oh, most people ran away when the place was hot.
Okay.
Michael Kwe is one. They ran, because by then the military regime was a rough regime.
What was Akuffo running away from?
Of course. If you criticize the government, you end up being arrested. If you are not careful, you can be killed.
You think that's why he left for Britain
No,
after Kimbu Secondary?
No. Kimbu were kids.
Yes. So I'm talking about that time.
We came back
right.
home finally.
No. I'm taking you back to Kimbu days when he left for Britain.
No, the Kimbu days.
Right? What was he running away from when he left?
Days, I say these are petty things. There is no point discussing them on television. It wasn't anything bad. That
right.
I must state clearly. You follow? It wasn't anything bad.
I appreciate that clarity.
Yeah, but I think the parents felt it was necessary to send him abroad.
At that time.
So he
didn't
attend secondary school here, and also university here. Because if you go even into Wilkie Peaks, you can see that they have not stated clearly which university he was. You follow me? But he did law. And law in those days can be done in different forms.
Different ways.
You
Sure.
follow me?
As
I said, when he came back, then we started, regrouping again. And then we got to where
when he came back to Ghana, what was his mindset?
No, but when he came back, I was in the military.
Okay, abusua wene ensema ekoso ewo political highway so. Credit goes to a TV3 omo na ene N.Tamakloe. A grante sa interview na N.Tamakloe say NPP for and accept defeat na omunjai back and forth no. Abusua beda masesa mo jepene kokoti sa audio we. Edimai aha POG Media so beda masesa.